Hey everyone, welcome to my first little time-lapse video that I started working on a while ago. I just wanted to kind of give people a better idea of what my work process was like and how I do things when I'm working on like these infographic fan art type thingy doohickeys. And I also kind of wanted to just give everyone an introduction to how I am and who I am and what I do as far as my art goes. So welcome to my first YouTube video ever. I hope that's exciting. Right now I'm just kind of figuring out how I'm gonna lay this thing out and seeing whether or not I like the placement of different things. I decided to type out a big block of text to put right in the middle, and I think that's good because it ended up staying pretty much throughout the whole thing, right about here. You can see that I'm kind of editing and changing the color of the font and whatnot, just to kind of get a better understanding of what's going on with the different spacing of the text and with the words and whatnot. I'm not very coherent of a voiceover guy, sorry about that. I moved over to Blender to do some quick little 3D rough draft render things of a lot of the structures that you see in some of the Star-Fox games that I like to make fan art of. This one here is like the orbital satellite, like it's the protection thing gun that sits kind of in the middle of the map in Star-Fox 2. It basically fends off some of the enemies that you can't get with your R-Wing, and it lets you protect a lot of your... It lets you protect the planet better, just to keep everything safe. Moving on to the orbital gate that you find in Star-Fox Assault. Again, this is all kind of my interpretation of things, just because, frankly, if I tried to do the one from Assault, it wouldn't really match the one from Star-Fox 2, and I just kind of throw it together, not really knowing what I'm doing. It actually really helps to have this little reference thing that you can kind of see sitting in the middle of my screen standing still, because it actually gave me an idea of what it's supposed to look like, so that I can kind of base my model and reference off of what it actually looks like in the game. And that way I get to keep a nice consistent view of how things work that way, so hopefully that turned out okay. I'm kind of doing a little bit of the coloring by hand, even though I could probably do it right in Blender. I just decided to give it my own painterly touch, because I enjoy doing things the hard way sometimes, and that can be really rewarding, really a rewarding experience, excuse me. This is my first kind of original thing, because I figured, you know, they gotta have more things than just those two in orbit somewhere, right? After all, it is an Earth-like planet. They've gotta have some sort of research station. So I just kind of made up my own thing and painted it and modeled it and did everything. The trickiest part for me of these three was getting all of their color schemes to match and to make it look like they were all part of the same general grouping of things. You can see me here coming up with a whole bunch of names because I didn't know what to call it. Really good website, fantasy name generators. Moving on to the moon, I just use a lot of like texture brushes and kind of trace around the craters with some highlights and shadows. I put like a black outline on pretty much everything, even the sun, even though it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, just because it helps everything to kind of be cohesive and fit together with the aesthetic of the rest of my work. And just, I know it makes it more cartoony, but at the end of the day, Star Fox is a very cartoony thing to be making fan art of, so... Here are some thumbnail sketches that I had done earlier, and I figured, hey, why not just throw them in here and kind of put them in the bottom of the screen just so that I have something to fill the extra space, and it'll help things to pop out and stand more. I realized that I did like 0 black outlines on any of on the thumbnail sketches, so I ended up having to fill those back in artificially and kind of get them to work that way. Threw in a little GameCube and Nintendo 64 reference here, and we're coming up pretty close on the end of the time-lapse part of it, so soon I'm gonna have to call it quits as far as recording the voiceover goes, but hopefully you guys get an idea of how I think and how I do things, because it's very by the seat of my pantsy. And here we have the final product. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you like, share, subscribe, do all the fancy schmancy YouTube things. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.